you.
Speaking freedom, giving you the answers to be free.
We use the client to develop, to grow, and to bring out the best in themselves. We are simply a tool to help you learn how to make better decisions. Not just one decision, not just today, but for the rest of your life. Encouraging each person through each trial and tribulation.
Work call. Yeah, man. Gotta go in here and dance, but I don't get tired.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, today is July 7th, 2026. Now, let me just say this. If I was still married, it would have been my 19th year wedding anniversary today. But I ain't, so it ain't. And now we're going to do this video today because today's video is about Big Tigger and his wife, who is really thin line between love and hate type crazy, if you get what I mean. But it's funny that I opened this video talking about how it would have been my wedding anniversary if I would have stayed married. But one of the reasons why I got divorced is because in my marriage, there was some domestic violence. I think that I might have talked about this before, but in my old relationship, the abuse started with lies, manipulation. It was first doing things to get me upset, and then it escalated into physical violence. And then it turned into him lying about the violence that occurred. He went and told my family that I used to choke him out of sleep and some old real crazy shit that just wasn't truth and wasn't me. The only time that I ever even would have considered choking him was when we were in physical fights, and I felt like that was the only way to get him off of me. Now, from there, I eventually got divorced. He ended up stalking me for a while. I was very terrified to be in my own home, although I had just built my home. I was terrified because of the violence. And then when I went and filed for divorce, he made a statement like, if something happens to her, what happens to the kids? And it was very strange. And he did the fake crying thing. So all of this is relevant to the Big Tigger situation is because I just saw another video, right? Okay, so boom. About 2 months ago, Big Tigger's, maybe not even 2 months ago, about a month and a half ago, Big Tigger's wife, I believe her name is Alicia Brown or whatever her married name would be, she made a video post on Instagram. If I can find it and clip it, I will put pictures of it here. And so in that video, it looked like her eye was split down the middle. It was a little extreme, I'm not gonna lie. And so initially I didn't say anything because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. First and foremost, Big Tigger ain't never been accused of anything, period, ever. We ain't never seen his name in the news other than possibly being gay. And, you know, that's not something bad necessarily. So when the video first came out, I did do a recording like this. So this should be recording 4 or 5 out of the Big Tigger series. And so, and initially I was kind of like, it seemed a little bit weird that, you know, she would get online and say, ask my husband how this happened, and imply that he beat her, imply that he was cheating. The things that she did is not allegedly. These are videos on social media that can be looked up. I got the video here. Hopefully, if I put it on top of this. These are things that can be seen online where she said she made it seem like her husband did it. And so she accused him of cheating with his new co-host, which sideline really makes me think about why he runs through co-host. He had Miss Pat and Shamia Morton. Shamia definitely had a lot going on after her surrogate baby ended up with some complications at birth and afterwards. So I understood her departure because she just had a lot going on. She was getting on, I don't know if she was on Housewives yet, but she had a lot going on. Miss Pat called Tigger a hater because Tigger used to make comments about how much money she was making compared to what he was doing or whatever that scenario was. And then following that, he had Jazzy McBee. And Jazzy McBee is a very attractive young lady, single, no kids to our knowledge, and homegrown Atlanta. And she abruptly left. And I am beginning to believe that allegedly she left because of the discomfort, and probably it was if this wife of his is acting like this with a new co-host that hasn't even been there a whole 3 or 4 months yet, I can only imagine the speculation or the accusations that came against Jazzy McBee because of being his co-host. Now, this is allegedly. I don't know that she accused Jazzy McBee of anything, but during this whole fiasco of everything that has been going on, Jazzy McBee has made some, nothing any that's weird post, but as a behavior pattern specialist and somebody who kind of can read through the lines, some of the posts that she made me feel like it may have been some other things going on as to why she decided to leave the Big Tigger radio show. Now, as of today, July the 7th, 2026, Big Tigger is not on the radio. He issued a statement that he would be stepping away from the mic and taking care of his family and legal troubles. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I totally understand why he would not want to be on the radio. Because one, he takes callers. He would end up being a distraction to any guest or any highlighted stories because people want to know what is going on. How did he end up with a woman who was arrested at one point for leaving her daughter in a car for 8 hours while she was in this casino gambling, and then daughter went missing. So a couple of things. In previous videos, I've addressed a lot of different things, how it seemed real thin line between love and hate. I've addressed the fact that sometimes men are provoked into things, and sometimes how women are not completely honest. Now, with that being said, I also did a video that was playing, I don't like to say devil's advocate, but I also did a video that highlighted that, okay, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. What if something like this really did happen and he really did assault her? And I did that video because 2 reasons. I'm a woman and I'm a girl's girl. So it is important to not blame victims or anything like that. So in light of keeping victim in mind, or a possible victim in mind, because there's a real thin line between love and hate shit going on here. But so in effort to, I want to say give leeway to, not give the benefit of the doubt, but in an effort to give a complete narrative, I did a video saying that, you know, if he is guilty, then, you know, yada, yada, yada. That is the last video I did based on the first video of him and her fighting over his phone. Now, from what I see in the video that was released today, This video is being recorded by her son in their house. And it's two parts of the video that I see now. The first part is when he's first trying to get his phone and she falls to the floor. It looks as though whenever she and him are trying to navigate getting his phone back, she falls to the floor and like guards the phone. And which, if you think about the initial video in the office where the Ring camera saw her saying that she was bleeding or something, allegedly, this is all what I'm getting from the video that was originally out there, that she took the phone. Okay, let's go back. So before I saw the first video, there was a police report. Police report stated that she took his phone because he was cheating with his co-host, and that she fell when he was trying to get his phone back because she would not give his phone back. That's theft for real. And then because of who he is and the type of shit that's in his phone, it should be a felony theft charge, if I'm being completely honest. Nonetheless, so based on that video, you could see him doing the same thing, trying to wrap his arms around her to get his phone from wherever she's putting it. It looks like she puts his phone in her bra or in her shirt because that's where he's reaching to get it out. So in the initial video, you see them struggle, and then you see her do her drop down thing that she does. Clearly, I see a pattern now. Every time she takes his phone, she drops down to her knees or falls out like a tantrum a little bit. And so when you see her in the first video from the office, it's a little bit dark, but you can see her fall into the door. Now, I don't think she intentionally fell into the door, but I do think that she does that falling thing all the time. It is a pattern. And so in that video, I was like, damn, he definitely didn't just hit her or abuse her like that. And then she has got online and said that he's not abusive. She didn't say that, and people are taking it out of context. You know how people do when they say some fucked up shit and it really ain't what it is, but then they try to fix it like, oh no, the internet is just making up their own thing. No, bitch. You put the internet in your business, and now this man has now stepped away from his job, and you put out a statement saying that you got receipts, and that why isn't the State Farm Arena, the Hawks, and the NFL, because Big Tigger is Big Tigger. So he works with the Hawks at the State Farm Arena as an announcer. He was on V103 as a radio host for at least 10, 15 years. He definitely works with the Falcons. He has a lot of big contracts. That means he has a lot of big contacts in his phone. That means that his phone is not the average Joe Blow phone. This is not like a Joe Button getting his phone taken and he trying to get it back. Joe Button, he's relevant. He got money. He know people, but he ain't doing the Big Tigger type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference. So what we see is not something that we saw like with Diddy, where you could see Diddy beating Kaci motherfucking ass, okay? You could see Diddy kicking her, punching her, hitting her, dragging her, doing all those things. In the video that we see of Big Tigger, especially the one that was released today, it is two videos that I saw, both taken allegedly by her son, who you can hear calling him Big Tigger, Mr. Tigger, in the video, saying, Mr. Tigger, stop, Mr. Tigger, you're hurting her. But unfortunately, you can see that Tigger is not like doing anything to physically harm her or hurt her. You can literally see that she has taken his phone, dropped to the floor, and making it seem like she's hurting, which would harm a son or make him feel like he needs to protect his mother because she's screaming like she's being hurt, and telling him if he was somebody else, he wouldn't be doing it. Nobody else would take the nigga phone, Alicia. I'm talking to you because you messing up this man's career for nothing. You got to do better, baby. I think that you probably need to get some therapy, get some help, figure out what's going on with you up here in your mind, because right now you look crazy, girl. You look crazy. And Big Tigger, you in danger, baby. You in danger. You don't even know it. Okay, so back to the story. So in this new video, in the first video, you see him trying to get his phone. It looks like it's in her bra or in her shirt. She falls on the floor, and she's like, "Oh, you hurt me! You hurt me! You hurt me!" But he's literally not even touching her. He's just like, "Girl, give me my phone back. If you just give me my phone, like, why do you need my phone?" This is what the video shows. I gotta say allegedly, but it's on video, so anyways. So I just saw that part of the video today, like just a few minutes ago. Earlier, Lil Duval issued or posted a video, a longer video, where it was some Fashion Nova clothes on the floor, and it looked like maybe she was either opening packages or I don't know how the shit got spread out all over the goddamn floor, okay? But in the video, it starts with the young man saying, Mr. Tigger, leave her alone. You can get a new phone. Which kind of gives me the impression that he has heard his mother or other people saying he can get a new phone. That's the kids normally repeat what they hear. Children normally repeat what they hear. So if you hear a child saying something along the lines that could or would come from an adult, normally it's because they are repeating what they've heard. So he's on there like, you can get a new phone or whatever, leave her alone. So during this time, at first she's on her knees, then she drops down to the floor like he did something to her. You can literally see he didn't make her drop to the floor. He didn't do anything harmful. He's literally just trying to reach and get his phone. And so it's sad because where I'm from, I have known or seen women who do things to try to get men to do to get violent. It's like you try to provoke them into violence. You do things so that they can respond, and you're looking for a reaction so that you can use it against them. So at some point, it was said that he called her psycho, and I see why he's called her psycho. This is the thing that we don't know. The things that people are asking is, how did he get involved with a woman whose child was left in a car or missing or whatever the case may be? And a lot of people don't realize that when you are a good-hearted person, let's just say, I am assuming, it could make an ass out of me or not, I don't know. I am assuming that Big Tigger is a good-hearted person, and that in his good-heartedness and well-intention, that when you meet a person, you are not automatically going to accuse them of something wrong. Even if people tell you, like, man, they crazy, da-da-da-da, your natural first instinct is not to necessarily believe people that call or talk about your spouse or significant other. The natural reaction is to hear the person out and see what they say based on what you're hearing. Now, this woman has 2 other children, the son that's doing a video, and it looks like another daughter that she named after the missing daughter, which is, anyways. So, when you find yourself dating somebody that you want to see the best or believe the best, it's kind of why people skip red flags. People ignore red flags because they want to be in love. They want to be in a relationship with somebody who seems like they are doing everything that that person is asking for or needs in order to be their partner. So in a previous video, I mentioned how Big Tigger baby announcement came out of the blue like a couple of months before that. She was big and pregnant. He had been talking about how he is very selective about having children, how he tries to make sure that he, protects himself because he is a big name celebrity. He's been around for over 30 years and people look to trap guys, basically. Men trap women too. Look at Holly Berry, or some of these guys that had, or Kevin Federline. They get, with somebody that got money, get babies, and now they locked in to the end. You know what I mean? So it is easy for a person with a good-hearted nature to be fooled, tricked, or misled into believing that everybody is lying about a person that basically you're getting to know or just met. But the kicker is, if she got pregnant before he really saw who she was, because sometimes babies make women go crazy. Sometimes, it's so many different facets on what leads a woman to acting cuckoo or doing things that are a little bit outside of what she may have presented. And it brings me back to my ex-husband. When we first got married, he seemed like a very good guy. I was going for, someone that wasn't in the streets, somebody that had a job, had something going for themselves. And when I met him, he had just bought a home. He had a car. He worked a job. But the things that I did not know is that this was right before the 2008 housing crisis. What I didn't know is that he didn't really qualify to get the home. He got a little second job to make it look like he could get the home, and he really could not afford the house that he had just bought. What I also didn't realize is that he had a car because he had a job that supplied a car. So it was the little nuances of things, of the details that you learn about a person as you get to know a person. And it was a lot of little things that he would lie about that, you thinking like, it's nothing. But it made me learn to monitor people who lie, monitor people who hide things, monitor people who don't know themselves, and really watch the behavior patterns of people before you take them too seriously. Unfortunately for Big Tigger, we are so far beyond that. I pray that he gets the justice that he deserves, because as of right now, it looks as though this woman is trying to destroy his career, which will also affect her son, her youngest son, with him in a bad way. It is just all types of crazy, if you ask me, because I don't get it. I don't really understand. It's not that I don't get it. You just don't expect things like this to happen to people like Big Tigger. Because I would think that before dating somebody, Big Tigger would have a team to investigate who he's getting with, her background, and all of those things. But again, if she got pregnant, let's say they was messing around and it was a one-night stand. I don't know how they met. I don't know the terms of their beginning of their relationship. Only thing we know is what we see now. And based on what we see now, I believe that he was manipulated into the situation that he finds himself in. A lot of people are going to be like, well, he should have known better. It sounds good, but that's not always the case. You don't always know a person is thrown off until you find yourself in a situation where they start acting like that. And then once you get married, it's hard to leave. I remember, okay, so we got married July the 7th of 2007, 777. And we got married in Ohio. We drove to Georgia, then we drove to Miami for our honeymoon. And on the honeymoon, we was arguing. He was storming off. He was doing all types of little shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? We just got married and you already acting crazy. But again, when you are fresh in a marriage, it's a couple of different things. You be thinking about, damn, these people told me. You don't want to prove people right. You're trying to make yourself be right because it's no way that I really got myself into this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I remember somebody told me to annul my marriage, and I was like, nah, we already here now, and you want to try to make it work. Nobody, I don't know nobody that gets married is getting married to get well. We in a different time right now, baby. They might be getting married to get divorced so that they can secure a bag from a person, whether male or female, because it's not just men that's getting spousal support put out on them and having to pay. Women got to pay now too. So there are a lot of men and women who get married to people praying to not have a prenup so they could walk away with half or whatever the fuck you accomplished and earned. And this is the reason why I do some of these videos, because literally you are dealing with people who will manipulate, use, and abuse you and then try to make you look like you the bad guy. And people need to be aware. I don't talk about my ex-husband a lot, but when I do talk about it and I talk about what happened in our relationship and how things deteriorated over time, whether it was the physical abuse or the mental abuse, or then feeling like you can't say nothing because you don't want to cause no problem or cause no fight, and you be scared to just talk or be regular, be yourself, and you can lose yourself in those type of situations. But it is more difficult to be in that situation and be hopeful that a person will change, trying to save your marriage. Because I tried to stay for a long time, way beyond the due date or the expiration date of when things were good. And it can really cause you to lose yourself in a relationship because you're with somebody who's manipulative or who's lying or who's trying to provoke you into somebody that you're not. And so getting out of a situation like that is hard because you fight so hard to make it work. You do so much to make it last. And in a lot of cases, you don't even realize who you're with until it's way too late. And I don't want to say it's nothing you can do about it. Right now, Big Tigger should be pressing charges on her for theft. He has contacts in there. I'm sure he got numbers in there that can't nobody get access to or get access to. And she's stealing his phone. That's like stealing $1 million contract. That's $1 billion phone right there. That ain't no regular phone that the average Joe Blow has. And so it's very disheartening to see something like this happen. I cannot stop people from making poor decisions. I cannot stop people from, being with people that they're not meant to be with. But what I can do is what I'm doing now, making videos and content to help people understand how people get into situations like this and how to avoid getting into situations like this. But a lot of why I am going into counseling and to being a therapist is because me saying it as a life coach is something. It holds weight. I be right a lot of times in situations that, it'd be like, damn, she was right again. But the truth of the matter is that, honestly, it is so much to trying to help people. It is so much to just being a life coach that I believe that if I am a credentialed therapist, I might be able to reach more people, help more people. It may be received a little bit differently. But the truth of the matter is that when you start to notice different behavior patterns, it makes you watch people differently. It makes you more aware of the things that people do to try to get over on you, to try to manipulate you. It makes you more cautious, and it makes you more amped to help other people to understand and to do better. So my whole goal, even with what I'm going into with school now, is to give people a reliable source of information that has not only have book experience, but lived experience, and can help you navigate the things that catch most people up. Again, I feel so bad for Big Tigger because it's a real life fatal attraction. Thin line between love and hate type shit. Because what the hell? What the hell? You done got with this girl. It seemed like she, you know what I'm saying? Because if you look up her credentials, if you look up, you know what I'm saying, everything outside of her missing daughter, it looks like she has been, you know, a boss in the cyber community. She do all of this, but honestly, sometimes, depending on the field, that is the exact reason why she knows how to manipulate things and make it look like things. But based on research and observation, allegedly she has done this to multiple men. She was just engaged not long ago. I checked one of her old pages, and she was just engaged maybe about 2-3 years ago, probably to her youngest daughter's dad. And so, but even when I listen to the way the son sounds, it sounds like he has been through this several times. This is not probably the first incident in their home, but this is probably not the first incident that he's witnessed her with men doing manipulative things, allegedly. But again, this is part 4 or 5 to an extended series that I'm doing on the fallout of Big Tigger, because baby, a thin line between love and Tig, bitch. Because how the fuck you end up with this crazy girl? Big Tigger situation is very disheartening because he's been in the entertainment industry for 30 years. He is a 50-year-old man who has not had any children because he was trying to avoid situations like this. So I'm very curious to hear the story that I'm sure will eventually come out about how they got together and what brought and led the situation to this. Because if she's acting like this now, there was probably 1 or 2 incidents before they got married, probably while she was pregnant or before she actually got pregnant. But if she's smart as she is, or she appears online, she didn't act like this until after she was pregnant. And then once she got pregnant, she realized, oh, I got me one. And whenever he called her psycho, that probably wasn't the first time. The one that's reported in the incident, he done probably called her crazy a few times because she act crazy. I hate to say it, but the lady appears to be a fucking lunatic, okay? Allegedly. Because she's screaming like he's hurting her. He's barely touching her. And then she acts like he's wrong for trying to retrieve his phone. And knowing that he has billionaires in his phone, he has all these connections, all of these, you know, job work related things. It's baffling to me because some men and women work so hard to try to get the right guy that they still end up with the wrong guy or the wrong woman. And then all of their worst nightmares come true on accident. This is the end of this video. Again, I pray that things work out for Big Tigger. But the truth of the matter is that he has a baby with this woman. So even if things work out in this particular situation, he will have to deal with her to some extent for the rest of his life, unless he's able to get custody of his son. So that's the end of this episode. Over and out. Bye.
I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live what I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all inside of me is sexual Charlie.
Thank you for joining Speaking Freedom as we continue to assist you with your daily growth and intuitive wisdom. Loving is a lifestyle and we love to love. Inspiration is how we fuel faith. Please join us daily for your inspiration and motivation.
We have the entire world to offer you at your fingertips. Your life enhancement coaching specialist. Thank you for choosing us to assist you in accomplishing your personal and professional goals. And have a beautiful day. In love, we trust. This is brought to you by Good Head Group, Love Gang and Speaking Freedom. We thank God for you, and we love you.